Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. We're in Baxter Cycle, the Royal Enfield area. Look what I've got for us today. This is a Royal Enfield Himalayan Scram 411-23 model, and this is a Royal Enfield Standard Himalayan 2023 model. Look at that color, isn't that pretty? Little chocolate color seat and stripe here, and lettering, just absolutely gorgeous. This is the bike our focus is on today, the Scram. These are very popular, and I think these are kind of the unsung hero of the lineup right now because this is such a do-everything motorcycle. Isn't it pretty in this color? Just absolutely gorgeous in my mind. I'm particular, I'm a sucker for red, so there we are. So what is it? Well, it's a 411cc single-cylinder overhead cam, 2 valves per cylinder, and one intake, one exhaust. It's got about 24 horsepower. And about 23.5 foot-pounds of torque. That's 32 Newton meters. Compression ratio is about, I think it's 9.5 to 1, which means you can use regular gas. I've got a Himalayan myself that I've got about 18,000 miles almost on, uses regular gas all the time and it runs great. Beautiful bike. This has a wheelbase that is slightly less than the Himalayan. The standard Himalayan has about a 58-inch wheelbase. This has a 57.3-inch wheelbase. There it is. It's about 1,455 millimeters. The ground clearance on this is slightly less. I don't seem to have that number in front. Oh, here it is. 7.8 inches. That's 200 millimeters. That's, I think this is 8.6 inches over here. The forks on these are 41 millimeter, again, just like this, 41 millimeter. Travel on these are about 7.5 inches. That's about 190 millimeters. And that's just slightly less than these, and I've never been able to figure out why, because they look identical. But anyway, very close. The rear is the same. I think the rear is 7.1 inches, which is about 170 millimeters, 180 millimeters. And I believe that's the same as on the stock Himalayan. Seat height is slightly different. Seat height on this model is 31.3 inches versus 31.5. So 31.3, that's about 785 millimeters, 795 millimeters versus 800 millimeters for this one. They both have the same brake on the front, which is a 300 millimeter single disc, dual pot, Vibri, anti-lock brake on the front. And I think they have great brakes for average riding and for good off-road riding. Like I do a lot of gravel on mine, and I think the brakes are just fabulous for that. The rear brake is a 240 millimeter ABS single pot. That means one piston, by the way, Vibri. I have not ridden a Scram on the gravel yet that I can remember. I have ridden thousands of miles of gravel on my standard Himalayan. Front tire on this bike is a 19-inch versus a 21. This is I think this is a 90-90, yes, 90-90-21, where this is a 100-90-19, and I believe the rear tires are the same. The rear tire is a 120-90-17 on both bikes. They've got Seats on these. I ran Seats on mine. I got 4,400 miles in the back tire before I got a fence post staple in it and had to replace it. And I think I got 13,000 on the front one, so it's a pretty good tire. This bike weighs about 409 pounds wet. That's 186 kilograms, where this one weighs about 200 pounds, 200 kilograms, or I think it's rated at 439 pounds, just under 200 kilograms. Fuel tank on both bikes is about 4 gallons. I think it's the same tank actually, which is about 15 liters. So they both have a 15-liter tank. So I've got incredible amount of range. Incredible amount of range. Y'all always want to know this part. This is the tag for this bike. So this is a flame white, and it has no accessories added to it. And there's the price. So total out the door price, $55.99, and that's with a 3-year warranty and roadside assistance. And I mean, it's unlimited mileage warranty, by the way. That was one of the key reasons I bought my Himalayan. At that time, they only had a 2-year warranty on them. Now they have a 3-year warranty. This is the ticket for the standard Himalayan, and it is Mirage Silver. So it's got the silver with the chocolate stripe and chocolate seat and chocolate lettering. And the out-the-door price on that is $59.49, again with the same 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. So it's a few $100s more. What would that be? About $400 more for this model. One of the big differences that you'll notice right away, on the standard Himalayan, you got this rack. The handlebars and the light are separate, so the light stays focused forward. The bars are free. The gauge cluster, the fairing, all that stays in one spot. If you come over here, this has got a aluminum housing. It's actually aluminum, and that moves with the bars. So that's quite a difference. Another difference is the fenders are different. It's got the smaller wheel. The big difference I noticed riding, I've ridden both these bikes. This one I've ridden on gravel and on pavement. This one I've ridden on pavement. The biggest thing I would say right away is that the this one handles a lot lighter. It's a lot lighter feeling. It's a lot more nimble feeling. It seems like it has more power. I know it's the same motor, but it weighs, 30 pounds less. This is more of a kind of a city scrambler. Ride it all week. I've said this many times before. Ride it all week in town, and then on the weekends hit the gravel and the dirt and have a whole bunch of fun. And that would do it just fine, because it's essentially a more civilized version of this ADV version with the big 21-inch tire. This is one of the most stable bikes I've ever ridden, I've ever owned. I've got a garage full of bikes, and when I run, my brother called me yesterday, wanted to go to meet up somewhere. I hopped on my Himalayan. The Himalayans are just that nice. They kind of do it all. They're friendly. They're easygoing. Like I said, I've got almost 18,000 miles on mine, like 17,600 and some odd miles, and not a lick of problem with it yet. So just a beautiful bike. Other differences: this is a single seat. This is a split seat. This comes off separate from this. Rack on the back, a different fender. Looks like the blinkers are farther back on this one. The other thing it has, this has mounting points for hard luggage, and I think there's a way to do that on this. I just don't know. Oh, they're there. They're just kind of blanked out. But so I don't know how that works. But I know you can put luggage on this one. Other differences: the front fenders are different. This one has the beak, as it's known, and another lower fender. This one's got the single lower fender. It does seem to have more room underneath it compared to this one. This one's pretty tight. As a matter of fact, one of the things I recommend on the Himalayan, the standard Himalayan, is to raise the fender up. I am in love with these bikes. I think they're a grand product. Indian made. Absolutely. The quality in these bikes is superb. Every year they get better. I guess what I'm saying is I can't say enough good about the quality of these new Indian motorcycles, these new Royal Enfields made in India. Just absolutely beautiful. The Himalayan, says Himalayan on it. I consider this the standard bearer for the new Indian line in that way. It's not these are more historical. These are the classics, the Interceptors. These are made in India, but of the tradition of the early British bikes. This is a totally Indian bike right here, Indian design from India. Just an amazing motorcycles these Himalayans are. If you all are interested in anything like this, get yourself down here to Baxter Cycle in Marnie, Iowa. BaxterCycle.com, and they can help you out. They've got all kinds of these things, plus a whole garage full in the back full of them. Just something I want to throw in real quick. These are all Royal Enfield accessories, and these are all available on their catalog. And there is more that they just don't have the room to put out. So if you're interested in anything like this, they also have loads of apparel. Every piece of Royal Enfield apparel that is on the main Royal Enfield website is available here at Baxter's, and they ship they ship nationwide. Just an absolutely, if you need it, they got it. Get a hold of these guys. All right, my friends, if the weather's nice where you're at, get yourself out there and ride. Wahoo! Alright y'all, we just took this hot rod out for a spin. It's got the Zard exhaust right there. Isn't that just pretty? Carbon fiber, black. Snakes around like that, hooks the pipe. Just a gorgeous piece of work. Just a gorgeous piece of work.